Here's something that will change the way you read every interaction from this moment forward. A woman will almost never, and I mean almost never, look you in the eyes and say the words, "kiss me." But right before she wanted you to, her body screamed it loudly, repeatedly, and you probably walked away thinking she wasn't interested. That moment you fumbled, it wasn't bad luck. It was illiteracy, body illiteracy. And today I'm handing you the dictionary. Okay? So let me set the stage with something that's going to sting a little, but I promise it's necessary. According to a study published in the journal Psychological Science, over 80% of romantic signals between two people are communicated non-verbally. 80%. That means the words coming out of someone's mouth account for barely a fifth of what's actually being said. So, if you've been waiting for a woman to verbally green light the kiss, you've essentially been trying to read a book while ignoring 80% of the pages and then wondering why the story doesn't make sense. Now, here's the part that makes this even more frustrating. Dr. Monica Moore, a psychologist at Webster University, conducted a landmark study where she observed over 200 women in social settings like bars, restaurants, and parties. She cataloged over 52 distinct nonverbal signals women used to express attraction. 52. That's more signals than most TV remotes have buttons. And the majority of men in those same environments, they missed most of them. Not because they were blind, but because nobody ever taught them what to look for. And that's what this video is about. I'm not here to give you some pickup artist nonsense or manipulative tactics. I'm here as a woman telling you exactly what we do when we want to be kissed, but we'll never ever say it out loud. Because most of us won't. Not because we don't want it, but because the vulnerability of saying those words feels like standing on a stage naked in front of a stadium. We'd rather hint, we'd rather signal, we'd rather adjust our hair for the 14th time and hope you finally get the message. But here's the thing, and this is the part that should keep you watching until the very end. These 6 signs I'm about to break down aren't just nice to know. Sign number 4 on this list is the one that women do within the final 30 seconds before a kiss either happens or dies forever. Most men have no idea it even exists. And once I explain it, you'll probably remember a moment where it happened to you and you completely blanked on it. That memory is going to hit you like a truck. Fair warning. So stay with me because by the end of this, you're going to see women completely differently. Not in a creepy way, in an aware way, in an, oh my God, she was literally begging me to make a move kind of way. Let's get into it. The first sign is something I call the proximity collapse. And no, it's not some military operation. It's far more dangerous. When a woman is interested in being kissed, she will systematically and sometimes unconsciously destroy the physical distance between the two of you, not all at once. That would be weird. She does it inch by inch, step by step, lean by lean, and if you're paying attention, you won't even realize that the woman who started the conversation 3 feet away from you is now close enough for you to smell her perfume and feel the warmth of her breath. There's actually science behind this. Anthropologist Edward T. Hall developed the concept of proxemics, which is the study of how humans use personal space. He identified 4 distance zones: public, social, personal, and intimate. The intimate zone is anything closer than 18 inches. When a woman voluntarily moves into that zone and stays there, she's not confused about spatial awareness. She's not lost. She knows exactly where she is. She chose to be there. Here's the detail most people miss, though. It's not just about how close she gets. It's about how she reacts when you move closer. If you lean in slightly and she doesn't pull back, that's not neutrality. That's permission. If you lean in and she mirrors it by leaning in too, That's not permission. That's an invitation written in bold with 3 exclamation marks. I had a friend, let's call her Sarah, who told me about a date where she literally positioned herself so close to this guy on a park bench that their knees were touching. She kept adjusting her position to be closer. And this man, this sweet, oblivious man, actually scooted over to give her more room. She went home and ate ice cream straight from the container. True story. Don't be that guy. Sign number 2 is what I call the lipa. Ritual, and it's probably the most well-known signal on this list. But here's why most people still get it wrong. They only know half of it. Yes. When a woman licks her lips, bites her lower lip, or applies lip balm or gloss while talking to you, those can all be indicators of attraction. A study from the Kinsey Institute found that lip-focused behaviors increase significantly during moments of heightened romantic or sexual interest. The body is literally preparing the lips for contact. It's biological, subconscious, almost involuntary. But here's the half most people don't know. The real signal isn't what she does with her lips, it's where she looks while she does it. If she licks her lips while looking at your lips, that's not a coincidence. That's a GPS coordinate. She is telling you without a single word exactly where she wants your attention and eventually your mouth to go. Researchers at the University of Kansas found that when someone's gaze repeatedly drops to another person's lips during a conversation, the probability of physical attraction being present jumps to over 90%. 90%? That's not ambiguity. That's a flashing neon sign in a language you apparently don't speak yet. And there's another layer to this that blew my mind when I first learned about it. When a woman touches her own lips, like resting a finger on her lower lip or tracing her lip line absent-mindedly while listening to you talk, that's a self-soothing gesture linked to the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system under romantic stimulation. In plain English, her body is so excited that it's trying to calm itself down by touching one of its most sensitive areas. She's not bored. She's overwhelmed by you. So, the next time you're talking to a woman and she's doing anything at all with her lips while looking at yours, understand this. The conversation happening above the surface is about where to eat dinner. The conversation happening below the surface is about something else entirely. Sign number 3. I call this one the hair symphony. And honestly, it's the one women are most guilty of doing without even realizing it. When a woman repeatedly touches, twirls, flips, or adjusts her hair while interacting with you, something is happening neurologically that she might not even be aware of. According to Dr. David Givens, author of Love Signals, a practical field guide to the body language of courtship, hair manipulation is one of the oldest and most universal female courtship signals in human history. It traces back thousands of years. It exists across cultures, and it serves a dual purpose. It's both a self-grooming behavior, meaning she wants to look good for you, and an attention-directing behavior, meaning she's subconsciously drawing your eyes to her face and neck. And here's the kicker. When a woman sweeps her hair to one side, exposing her neck, that's not a random hairstyle adjustment. The neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the human body. Exposing it is a primal signal of trust and openness. She's literally showing you a part of her body that evolution trained her to protect, and she's doing it while looking at you. If that doesn't translate to, I feel safe with you and I want you closer, then I don't know what does. I'll tell you what makes this sign even more telling. Frequency. If she touches her hair once, maybe it was just in her face. If she touches her hair 5, 6, 7 times during a single conversation with you, that's not a hair problem. That's a you problem, meaning you are the cause. Her nervous system is firing, her attraction is spiking, and her hands are going to her hair because they need somewhere to go that isn't your face. Pay attention to the symphony. Every movement is a note, and together they compose something very specific. Now, sign number 4. This is the one I warned you about at the beginning, the one most men have never heard of, and the one that once you recognize it will haunt your memories. I call it the stillness before the storm. In the moments right before a woman is ready to be kissed, those final 20 to 30 seconds, something strange happens. She gets quiet. Not awkward quiet, not I want to leave quiet. A different kind of quiet. A loaded silence. Her movements slow down, her blinking slows, her voice, if she's still talking, drops lower and softer, and she holds eye contact just a beat longer than normal. This phenomenon is actually well documented in psychophysiology. When the human body anticipates a high arousal event, a kiss, a first touch, a moment of physical intimacy, the nervous system shifts from sympathetic activation, which is your alert, energetic state, to a brief parasympathetic pause. Think of it as the body's way of bracing for impact. Everything slows, everything stills. The world narrows to just the two of you. Dr. Arthur Aron, the psychologist famous for the 36 questions that lead to love experiment, noted that mutual silent eye contact lasting more than 4 seconds without discomfort, snorts, is one of the strongest predictors of deep emotional and physical connection. 4 seconds, that's it. If she's holding your gaze in that still, quiet moment without looking away, without laughing nervously, without breaking the tension, she's not waiting for you to say something clever. She's waiting for you to close the gap. And this is where so many men crash and burn because the silence feels heavy. It feels loaded. And instead of recognizing it as the green light that it is, they panic. They crack a joke. They look at their phone. They say something random about the weather. And just like that, the moment shatters. She snaps out of it. The window closes, and she internally files that under almost. If you've ever had a moment with a woman where everything went quiet and electric and you didn't act, now you know what that was. It was sign 4. And it was the final boarding call for a flight you didn't get on. Sign number 5 is called the mirroring effect. And it's one of the most scientifically validated signals in human attraction research. Mirroring is when a person subconsciously copies the body language, gestures, posture, or movements of the person they're attracted to. You lean forward, she leans forward. You tilt your head, she tilts hers. You take a sip of your drink, she reaches for hers. It's not conscious mimicry. It's the brain's way of building rapport and signaling alignment. And according to a study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, mirroring increases perceived attractiveness between two people by up to 30%. But here's where it connects to the kiss specifically. When a woman is in a kiss-ready state, her mirroring becomes hyper-focused. She doesn't just mirror your general posture. She mirrors your pace, your breathing rhythm, your facial expressions. If you slow down, she slows down. If you smile softly, she matches it. It's like two instruments tuning to the same frequency right before a duet begins. And the most telling form of mirroring, head tilt matching. If you tilt your head slightly to one side, and she instinctively tilts hers to the opposite side, congratulations. You've both just pre-positioned for a kiss without saying a word. Your faces are literally angling toward each other like two puzzle pieces about to connect. This isn't coincidence. This is choreography that neither of you planned, and it's beautiful. Honestly, one more thing about mirroring that makes it powerful. It's almost impossible to fake. If someone is genuinely attracted to you, their body will mirror yours automatically. If they're not, it won't. No amount of politeness or social obligation can override this. So, if you notice consistent mirroring, especially the kind that escalates as the interaction progresses, trust it. Her body is already speaking a language her mouth never will. And finally, sign number 6. This one is subtle, sneaky, and absolutely genius in how women deploy it. I call it the manufactured excuse to stay. When a woman wants to be kissed, but the date or encounter is technically over, the dinner is done, the walk has ended, you've reached her car, you're standing at her doorstep. Watch what she does. If she's ready for a kiss, she will invent a reason to extend the moment. She'll suddenly remember a funny story she has to tell you. She'll fumble unnecessarily with her keys. She'll ask you a question she definitely already knows the answer to. She'll say something like, "Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you something," and then tell you something completely insignificant. This is not forgetfulness. This is strategy. She is engineering extra time because she feels the moment building and she doesn't want it to end before it peaks. She's giving you those extra 30 seconds, that extra minute to make the move. She's essentially holding the door open while pretending she's just leaning on the frame. A survey conducted by Match.com found that 76% of women said they preferred the man to initiate the first kiss. But, and this is crucial, 83% of those same women admitted to creating situations that would make it easier for him to do so. 83%. That means the vast majority of women are actively, deliberately, strategically putting themselves in kiss-friendly positions and then waiting. They are doing their part. The ball at that point is entirely in your court. So if she's lingering, if she's finding reasons not to walk through that door, if she's dragging out a goodbye that should have taken 10 seconds but is now somehow going on 2 minutes, she's not being indecisive. She's being patient with you. Don't waste her patience. Patience has an expiration date. And once it passes, she walks inside, closes the door, and texts her best friend about how she'll never understand men. So there they are. 6 signs that a woman's body sends when she wants to be kissed, but will never say it out loud. The proximity collapse, the lip ritual, the hair symphony, the stillness before the storm, the mirroring effect, and the manufactured excuse to stay. Now, let me be clear about something important. These signs are not a license. They're not a guarantee. They are indicators, strong ones, backed by research, backed by behavioral science. But the golden rule remains the same. Respect and awareness go hand in hand. Being able to read these signals makes you perceptive, not entitled. The goal isn't to catch someone. The goal is to be present enough, aware enough, and attuned enough to meet someone in a moment they've already invited you into. Because here's the truth nobody talks about, buddy. Women don't want a mind reader. They want someone who's paying attention. And in a world where most people are too distracted by their phones, their insecurities, or their own internal monologue to notice what's happening right in front of them, the person who actually sees her, that person becomes unforgettable. And honestly, that's the real secret. It was never about the kiss. It was about the awareness that made the kiss possible. Now, before you go, I need to say this because it matters. You just spent the last several minutes learning how to read the signals she's sending with her body. That's powerful. But here's what most people get completely wrong. Reading signals is only half of the equation. The other half, knowing how to create those signals in the first place. Because what good is recognizing the moment she wants to be kissed if you haven't built the kind of connection that gets her there? And that's exactly why you need to watch this next video right now. Next. It's called 7 Touches That Will Make a Mature Woman Fall Deeply in Love with You. And it's essentially the prequel to everything I just told you. If this video taught you how to read the final chapter, that video teaches you how to write every chapter that comes before it. The specific, intentional, and emotionally charged touches that build the kind of attraction where these 6 signs don't just appear. They become inevitable. I'm not suggesting it. I'm telling you, if you found value in what you just watched and you leave without watching that video, you're walking away with half a map. And half a map leads to nowhere. It's on your screen right now. Click it. Your future self will thank you for